This is Geo on everything. Don't shit on my brainstorm, bitch.
This is Jared. I'm I'm rocking the white shirt today and the Marine Corps hat still. What up?
Bryce Lansing, looking to smash.
Jesus Christ.
I literally did that just for his reaction.
That's twice. You gotta be twice. Crap.
Okay. And I'm just Joshua B. Easy. And
This is the Takeoff Anytime podcast.
all right, Jared, explain net neutrality.
All right, man. So I have to explain it for the way I know it. So as of right now, the way things are is that ISPs are not allowed to pretty much throttle any.
What are ISPs?
So ISPs are internet service providers like Comcast, AT&T, stuff like that. I don't know all of them, so I'm not gonna say them. But pretty much they can't pretty much say like one company has more bandwidth over another to get to you. So whatever you want to see on the internet, you just have full access to, no matter what it is, right? So with this law going into place, that can all change. It could be so they can say, okay, certain companies aren't here. They can reserve certain more bandwidth for things they want more, and they can pretty much, the ISPs can pretty much deliver what content they feel is best for them. Now, on one hand, you could say it's fine because they have servers, they have the equipment that they have to monitor, and it costs money to keep that all up. And, they feel like people should have to pay more, or these companies should have to pay them for that extra bandwidth for that, But another time, that really messes up everyone, because say if you don't have the money to give for these ISPs to get your content to people, then you're kind of out of luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so now I feel like now, on top of you already paying your internet or your cable bill, and you having to pay your monthly service fee for Netflix and Hulu and HBO and Showtime and whatever the fuck else they want you to pay
Xbox
for.
Live.
Yeah,
Right.
goddamn. And then Xbox wants you to pay for Game Pass and EA Sports and all this shit and everything that you want to have fun with. Now you got to pay for fucking now you got to pay for the bandwidth to use these things.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
See, and
No, I wish I could put this into better words than just reading off the screen, but I saw this meme the other day that I really liked. It says, losing net neutrality is a terrifying thought, but I feel like no one is looking at the deeper issue. Internet packages will likely be based on commonly visited websites. Yes, paying for a package that has both Facebook and Google will suck, but then why have Google? Your package includes 200 websites, so where's Google going to take you? Nowhere.
So basically, they're trying to do like they do cable when they only give you so many channels per package.
Pretty much, yeah.
I feel like they're trying to bring cable back by making it almost by trying to almost outsource these other platforms.
It's not they will, it's that they could. And this goes on to say that obscure website that you buy car parts from, gone. Want to make a website for your band? Gone. Good luck convincing Spectrum to include it in a package. World events from a non-American news source? No. Learning something you like online? No. Pay for college. This isn't inconvenient. It's a book burning. And I like, and I think that that's a great point, because like I said, if you want to get news from outside of the U.S., because let's face it, no matter what news network you watch in the U.S., it's biased in some way, shape, or form.
That's facts.
So if you want to get, your news from BBC, but you have to pay an extra $20 to get access to BBC, not only have you been restricted from your internet, you've been restricted from knowledge.
Yep.
The government has now succeeded in limiting what we know.
You know what's gonna go up in response to this?
What's that?
The crime rate.
You think so?
You know why?
Oh, here we go.
Josh's theory.
You guys can't see this coming, and I see
Listen,
it.
crime rate is gonna go up because poor people can no longer afford porn, to masturbate, to get rid of all those evil demons that are battling with us.
Oh my God.
You
It
really
means
believe
no more free porn for broke people.
You really believe the shit that comes out of your mouth?
Like real shit. No, really. Because look, how we just said that basically they're gonna package the internet like they do cable. Or like
right.
So therefore, that means that and porn is of course is a luxury. Is what they say. They're gonna have that on the most expensive package, like the $80 package, just like they do.
ESPN Sports or some shit.
Yeah,
like that.
all that kind of shit. So therefore, people can't afford that shit. So therefore, people who have women problems, insecurities, or any sort of problems like that, they're not going to be able to release themselves. So therefore, it's going to be built up emotions, animosity, and everything else, and they're going to go out and kill somebody.
You see, I actually, the funny thing is I kind of agree with Josh on that one, because I feel like it's not so much. I don't know, people who go ride in the street, gonna turn to like the Purge, but I do feel like the possibility is that these companies are gonna take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Yes, they're going to charge more because now they're being charged. So they're going to charge us more for stuff like that. And yeah, I like free porn too. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, what is the consumer going to do? We're going to go back to the stores. We're going to go buy DVDs and VHSs if we have to again. You know what I mean?
That definitely would bring that back.
It would bring it back. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. So, here's my biggest problem. The ISPs, even if they... So say for just some reason they don't want to accept the money from these big companies, right? No matter what they give them, Netflix is like, hey man, we'll give you $3 billion, to get us some more bandwidth. They're just like, nah, man. It's like whatever morals this company president has for this ISP, it's just like, no, I don't like the stuff you put out. I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying?
The thing that I learned about the internet is, as wide, as massive, and as many people have access to the internet, there is a way around everything.
See, I'll come back to that because I had a discussion with somebody about that before. Now, here's my problem. So if I'm the president or the owner of this ISP and I just don't like Netflix,
ISP as an internet service provider.
Yeah. No matter what you do or what you want, you can't get Netflix because I'm not allowing it. You know what I mean? No matter you can call me yourself like, hey man, I'll pay $30 extra a month. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't want Netflix. So here's the thing.
Yeah,
So I live in an apartment. You know what I mean? In my apartment, and like most apartments, they only have certain internet service providers that you can buy, right?
Yeah.
And most people just had it because of the areas. So what if? So I live 10 minutes away from my job right now. So what if the companies that I'm allowed to get because I'm in this certain area just refuses to get Netflix? Just refuses to get it, and the only place that I would do it. Only internet service provider that would do it is 2 hours away from my job.
Yeah.
Now that puts me at risk. And then what happens?
I didn't mean to invite y'all, sorry.
Oh, it's fine. And so what happens when the apartment buildings get in on this too? You know what I mean? When they start subjecting their own morals and ideas onto it, and it's just a never-ending like downhill shit roll. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's the problem I have with it. You know?
And another thing too, not to compile, but everybody's talking about the cable companies. What about the phone companies? You get internet through your fucking data plan.
Yep.
So what? That now opens the door that you're, because my data plan's not through Comcast.
Right.
So if I'm not hooked up to my Wi-Fi, then my data is coming through Sprint.
In my opinion, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like in the world of big business, whatever opportunity that these businessmen are gonna have to make a dollar, they're gonna take it.
I agree.
Period.
Oh, yeah.
That's facts.
Oh yeah. Well, and so here's the thing, and this is actually what I wanted to bring up the most, because I honestly do not know the answer, and I've not heard a single person say. The reason why they say, or FCC, wanted to repeal it is because they say that it is preventing these ISPs from investing in new technologies.
Right.
Nobody has ever been able to explain to me how or why. Mm-hmm. How is net neutrality preventing them from investing or researching?
It's not. It's just probably whatever new technology there is, because with every new technology, there costs money to put into it. And I think the fact that they're just money hungry, you know what I mean? And I can't really fault them, because I guess if I had a big business, I would want to bring in as much money as I can. But here's the problem with this whole idea, and no one seems to really jump on it. I don't really understand. Humans are just not all humans, but a lot of humans are just morally bad people. You know what I mean? Like we don't really consider everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everyone's donating money to Africa. People
I wouldn't say we're bad. I say we're selfish.
Well, yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, we're selfish. We're not donating money to Africa. We're not you know, everyone's not in the ghettos, you know, handing out sandwiches and blankets for the homeless. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not happening. So that's the problem. So when you get an opportunity to do something like that, the majority is going to take advantage. And like what you read earlier, because I explained to somebody back at my job about that as well, about the whole book thing. I said, this is literally a book burning. Because if my ISP does not want me to get, say just for the sake of the argument, my ISP is like fully Republican, right? Just fully Republican. They can restrict everything that might be Democrat that I actually want to look at, and then that could actually brainwash me into being more Republican. Not saying I'm either or, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that's the possibility of the whole situation that no one's really thinking about. There's power in control.
Yeah, there's professional bias. I mean, it's bad enough. And don't get me wrong, I watch CNN. I'm a liberal, but it pisses me off when CNN reports shit that is liberally biased, because it's like, no, when I watch the fucking news, I want neutrality.
Yep.
Not net neutrality. I want neutrality. and it's bad enough that you have the news networks doing that. If your ISP starts doing that too, like you said, everybody's going to be brainwashed based on what company they have.
I mean, I personally don't really. I'm not really going to say that I want neutrality. I want facts.
Yeah.
Right.
I want facts. And if a fact is not neutral, or if a fact is somewhat biased, then just tell me the fact, because truth hurts in some cases.
Well, I think the issue with that is, you know, it's kind of like a lie of omission kind of situation where you can still get facts and it can still be biased.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's facts.
And you know,
that's America.
That is America. And that's the problem. And here's the thing. And when you said earlier about there's always a way around it, and I agree with you. There usually is a way around. There's some type of proxy, some type of site that would help, you know.
Yeah.
But here's the problem.
You can
what
build
happens,
your own server.
Yeah, but what happens when you can't get to that site? Or what happens you don't know? And think about all the people who aren't as tech savvy as these people who know about that. Like, my mom isn't going to go to a proxy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like those are the people that net neutrality can hurt the most, is those people that don't know or don't really have access to ways around things.
What about like public Wi-Fi? You go to McDonald's, you get on their Wi-Fi, you're at the mercy of whatever plan they have.
That's
Thank
facts.
you.
That's facts.
Thank you. And
That's
that might be
facts.
totally different from yours. From your
Hey,
house.
shout out to James Garden. He just joined us live.
Hey, shout out to him.
Hey, what up?
Yeah, and see, and that's the problem. So when people always like, oh, it's not a bad thing because you should be able to charge these big companies. Yeah, that's fine in a sense of like, these ISPs want more for their buck. I mean, want more for their services, but it's always going to trickle down to the little person, man.
That's a fact.
It's just always.
I mean, but just like we just said, that's America, and now they're just giving. I'm telling you, big business has more control over government than government does. Period.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that destroying net neutrality was a big business decision. That wasn't a government decision. That was a big
they're not
business
making enough
decision.
money off the internet.
Lobbyists are powerful as hell.
Yeah, because
There's honestly, if you think about it, there's too much free shit on the internet. I bet you big business wants to get rid of free first months.
They want to get rid of free porn.
I saw something.
Fight for porn.
I saw something a couple weeks ago, and I don't know the exact number, and I haven't double checked the stat, but I believe it is that there's like a couple hundred, or if not more, lobbyists. And then, of course, you only have like 100 people in the Senate. So for each senator, there's multiple lobbyists. And that just tells you like how powerful they fucking are.
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's the small percentage that holds the most power. You know. And, and it always pisses me off. You know.
But if you look at it though, honestly, when you look at a presidential election, what's the most important thing that they push? They don't push the presidential candidates' views. They don't push what they care about. They don't push what they're going to change. What's that they put at the very top? How much money they've garnered. Yeah. That's who they put at number one. Yeah, the one who got the most, that got most invested in. That's who they put as number one. That's who ends up winning.
That's who. I mean, look at Donald. He didn't need anybody to invest in him. He had millions of
every
dollars.
time.
You know
Well, he got a shit ton of free publicity too.
Yeah, but I mean, like he already started off way above everyone else.
Donald Trump was in The Simpsons in the 90s.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like Donald Trump has been in the presidency news forever, like basically since like Obama first got in there.
That's true, but you know what's crazy?
Obama was born in America.
Listen,
back when Clinton, really.
Donald Trump been in presidency talks for a long time. I watched the 30 for 30 the other day, man, And when the NFL was split in like AFL and whatever, there was 2 different divisions.
Yeah.
Donald Trump was about to buy one of them.
crazy.
He was like
Oh,
the
yeah.
biggest thing on TV at the time. It's
crazy.
Donald
Yeah.
Trump he was gonna be the president one fucking day.
Wasn't he the richest man in the world at one point?
No.
Nah.
He was never. Nah, you gotta be in Saudi Arabia.
I think
No,
that's
you ain't-
somebody. No, I think it's. It might be.
No,
I thought it was
when
somebody.
we were younger,
maybe in America at one point.
I think he was at one point.
Maybe his dad.
No, because once you start looking overseas, these dudes be having like billions and trillions. Like because there's one thing that I notice about America that's different than like India. I watch a lot of Vice. Like you know what I'm saying? And when I look at India, I don't know if it's Dubai, but there's like this fucking skyscraper that's like the president's house that's right next to the most impoverished neighborhood in the fucking world.
Yep.
In Dubai.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
Dubai, but it's in India.
Yeah, the biggest tallest building in the world, I think, is in Dubai.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
the president's house.
Yeah.
He just be sitting there shitting. He goes up to his top floor and he swims in his top floor with his Ferraris and Bugattis, and it's a bunch of homeless people right out. He can look outside and throw a rock and hit a homeless person.
Wasn't that supposed to be the
crazy.
building? Remember in the Fast and Furious when they were in Dubai and basically they jumped from building to building in the
Oh,
cars?
Hey,
didn't
shout
see
out
that
to
movie.
D-Val.
I
He
didn't
just
see that
joined
movie.
us.
I didn't see that.
What up?
What's up, D-Val?
But anyway, I think in the movie they were trying to portray that building.
Shout out Happy Yellow Chick.
Yeah.
When they jump from building to building, what I'm talking about, I think that's the tallest building in the world,
I see that
supposedly.
now. But you know the crazy thing, because you talk about that, there's a guy in the Middle East. I don't know his name. I read the article, right? He pretty much like took like thousands of acres, right? Thousands of acres, and just wrote his name. Just his name. His name is like 5 letters, right? Big ass. I'm talking about like miles, like thousands of miles, right? And he only did it just so people could see it from space. Literally.
That
That's
sounds
how
like
much
some
money
shit
he
that I
has.
would do.
That's crazy.
You know what's crazy though? When I think about America and capitalism, but then I look at shit like that, or when I look at shit like that skyscraper that's sitting outside of the biggest homeless community in the
crazy.
world. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we aren't really that fucking bad.
Yeah. I mean,
In a sense, we are fucking bad.
Yeah, we're horrible.
But we ain't that fucking bad.
but no, here's you know what?
Wait, what do you mean? We're not that bad
You
individually,
talking about in America?
or in America?
in America, yeah.
Here's the thing. And I was going back to the net neutrality. We were I was talking to somebody, and he was saying like how it's not a bad thing. And I spoke to him like man to man. I was like, hey man, are you Republican? You know, and there's nothing against him. I was like, are you Republican? He's like, no, I'm more libertarian. I was like, okay, fine. You know, and I was like, okay, when you go home, do you worry about your bills? Do you worry about where your kids are going to eat next? Do you wonder if you should pay your rent or go get groceries? And he said no. I said that's the issue, because now you're putting the people who have to do that in that situation where do I get disconnected from the outside world just to eat, you know, or do I say no, I want to be on Facebook more, you know, and then my kids got to starve to death. That's the seriousness of this whole thing. Like, people don't really think like
That is, I mean, that's extreme.
it is extreme, but think about it. Everything is possible in America, man.
That's true.
I mean, over
That is
the
true.
world, period. Because people are we're so unpredictable.
But I ain't gonna
You know what
lie,
I mean?
man. I done sat at the dinner table and was like, do I really need to watch Queen of the South this week? Do I really need to watch The Mist this month? You know what I'm saying? I mean, people do that anyway.
Yeah, see, my whole thing is like this. I'm not saying that. I'm more talking about like what's easier for you to submit your resume for a job you really want in 10 minutes, or to take yourself in the snow, drive an hour just to submit it. You know what I mean? Think about it. That's
I
that's
see
what
what you're
happened.
saying. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's possible,
And
man.
that's the thing. We do so much by internet now. You know.
I mean,
Job application.
but at the same
Everything
time, okay, do you think that just because it's a possibility that those things will happen? Do you see that do you feel like that will happen?
Dude, look, I feel like everything is possible. When I look at a lot of military news, and it hurt because, you know, I'm from the military. I was in the military. When I see the fact that a lot of military people took these prisoners of war, and they just stripped them butt naked and just shot them, just abused them and shot them dead right there, right? I don't believe anything is not possible.
Are you talking about that little prisoner of war camp that George Bush had?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
You see, and it's nothing
Yeah.
against the military, because I love the military and I think the military does great things. But it's the possibility that can happen. So
Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
Thank you. Yes.
Facts.
So when you have power, you do stuff you don't even mean to.
Facts.
Like the simplest way I can put it. When me and my brother was growing up, I bought this sound card so we can make music, right? And as soon as he pissed me off, the first thing I did was
Snatch
go in
the
there and
sound card.
snatched it.
I believe you
I didn't
did.
have to. I didn't think about, oh, he wants to make music without me. I thought, no, my shit, my control. I do what I want.
I'm pretty sure I witnessed this.
Yeah, I think you were there. You know,
I'm pretty sure I witnessed that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how long does it take for someone with this much control to just do that? How much does it take for somebody who pays all his child support through the internet and for a person to say,
but
fuck
you know what?
and cut that
I'm not
off?
gonna lie, right? I'm gonna put my face on the camera for this one. Listen, I have started to notice a lot of the streaming sites that I use, they're starting to slow down.
Yeah.
Like they're starting to just to buffer a lot more. Like, and you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, damn, I thought I had high speed internet. But since I've heard that net neutrality thing, the end of that,
Makes you wonder.
I have noticed like my HBO be slowing down, my Showtime be slowing down. A lot of shit that I pay for,
Yeah.
is slowing down.
Apple just did it. There was a big thing. I don't know if y'all read it. Apple slowed down their old phones just so people would move.
There was this.
I think Apple's been doing that for years, especially. I think Samsung has definitely done it more than Apple, because I've had this phone for a year since December, and this phone still works just as fine as I bought it last year. But back when I was a Samsung user, I had the Samsung Galaxy 6 and 7. And the only reason why I upgraded is because that shit went bad in less than a year.
Look at
as soon
Josh.
as the one came out.
Look at Josh starting on his own. Had the 6 and the 7.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, that's what they do. They do that to force you to upgrade to their new product. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
There was this.
they all do that.
There was this whole article right after the whole net neutrality vote that basically said, basically every internet provider was raising their rates, starting January actually this month. And of course, you know, the deniers said, oh, they were going to do that before the net neutrality vote anyways. But one thing that drives me nuts, because we kind of started talking about capitalism, is the idea, and I'm going to say the idea first, is that the laws of supply and demand will, you know, set prices for items. You know, if you want to sell more shit, you have to have a more reasonable price on it. And all these cable companies do is raise their prices. And Amazon, you know, they have their own original shows. They're getting more popular. Netflix, you know, significantly cheaper than cable, and they have their original shows, original movies. Hulu, you know, and
I don't watch cable. I don't watch cable TV
While the
anymore.
popularity of all these streaming services that are so much cheaper are going up, the cable companies are still raising their rates. And I'm like, how do you figure this? You guys have to be losing customers, and you're still raising your rates? Like, what in the hell?
But you know what, net neutrality, but you know what I think about, and I feel like we should go ahead and skate past this eventually. But I feel like net neutrality, getting rid of that, is just looking at it this way, right? The easiest way to make $1 is to charge somebody for something that they need. Or they feel like they feel like they need.
Demand and supply.
Yeah, you charge somebody because they need water. You charge somebody because they need heat. You charge somebody because they need gas. And if they get a better car, you charge them for what? You charge them more for more expensive gas. And then now that everybody's using Netflix, you got to find a way to capitalize off that, because what? Only Netflix and Hulu and Showtime. I mean, not Showtime and Amazon Prime. You think that they're gonna be the only ones eating off this? Hell no, no. You trying to take from us? You taking movies and videos and streaming. People, there's like this whole generation of kids. They don't watch TV. They just watch YouTube now.
Yep.
You know what's curious though?
True.
Yeah, it's true.
Comcast, to their credit, they actually sometime in the last year, and it was in the last 12 months, made it so you can access your Netflix account through your cable box.
That's true.
Which I'll admit,
Comcast
I love.
did that. That was dope.
That was a smart business decision
Yeah.
because one, I appreciate that, and two, before I had to have my PS3 or some way to access my Netflix to watch it in my living room.
They started putting that directly on TVs, smart TVs.
Really? Oh yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't have one of those, but I've seen it.
Here's my thing, and I know it sounds stupid, and it goes back to what Josh was saying about porn and having to go back to the stores. Dude, think about like how much we do rely off of the internet, like even just for funny, stupid stuff.
That's
like
true.
like memes. It's gonna be a nigga outside with a jacket talking about, "Hey, yo, I got these fresh memes for you. I got these fresh memes. What's up? What's up? What's up?" Like I got, and it sucks that we had to do it. Like niggas is gonna have to learn how to start writing letters again.
But you know what you're saying. But listen, though.
It's definitely on dollars.
It's
back
how
a
we
few
communicate.
centuries.
You know how many people? Do you know how many people I call off of Facebook? You know how many people whose phone numbers I don't know, but I call them on Facebook? You know how many times there's something that I just cannot figure out and I go to Google for it? Like I be Googling the dumbest shit.
Google has everything.
Google
now.
has everything.
I mean,
everything.
That thing that I was reading, perfect example. You know how many times I've been working on a vehicle and I didn't know something and I had to look it up?
Google. Look, you
when I
can
was working
listen.
on your Jeep.
But you have
You
to
can-
when I
get
did your Jeep.
Any profession,
exactly.
pretty
That's
much
my point.
almost. I want to say almost any profession you can learn on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is the greatest thing that has hit our generation. Period.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Learn how to fix my furnace.
Here's the thing.
Everything.
What if the ISPs start charging YouTube more for more bandwidth?
Yeah.
Then what if YouTube goes, okay, instead of us just paying these content creators, for their subscribers, you got to pay into it now, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel like what's gonna happen is just like you got to get credit check to sign up for AT&T, you got to get a credit check to sign up for Comcast, you got to get a credit check to sign up for Time Warner and whatever else. They gonna have a Netflix building. You gotta go in that bitch and you gotta sign up, get your little Netflix box. Now you getting a Netflix bill every month. Yeah. It's gonna be like that. They just gonna turn into companies and find a way to profit. It's just a big circle of profit. That's all it is.
It is.
I don't get that. It's already like that.
No. What I'm saying is, listen, it's gonna be to the point where instead of going online and signing up, getting a little free month,
you gotta actually go into a physical
you got
building.
to go in to net. You got to go down on Cedar and Jolly. It's gonna be a little Netflix building that you got to go in there.
Just like Water and Light and all that
just
kind
like
of shit.
all that. Yeah,
I get you. That's dumb as fuck.
it is dumb as fuck. But I feel like
Man.
if that was a way for them to make a profit on everything, they're gonna do it.
And like you said earlier, man, it's extreme. But it's a possibility.
Extreme. But you know what? But that's what capitalism is. Capitalizing.
Yeah. Let's be honest.
Capitalism is to capitalize. They see something and they gonna take every little inch that they give them to make a dollar, to make a profit margin. They're gonna take it.
Yo, so obviously we keep going back and forth between net neutrality and capitalism. But one thing, and I can go into more detail. What do you guys think about price gouging?
Quality dairy
think
price
about-
gouges like a motherfucker.
Hold on.
I'm talking
Time out.
We're talking about like hurricane.
Time out. What is price gouging?
Okay, so perfect example, Hurricane Katrina.
Okay.
Fucking everybody's devastated. People with money go and buy a shitload of generators.
Okay.
And then sell them as private sellers for 3-4 times the cost. And they say, you know what? I'm allowed to do that because that is capitalism.
That is capitalism.
But then there's other people who say you
been doing
can't.
that with Jordans since they came out.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's supply and demand.
But that's exactly why I bring it up. Is it's an interesting concept because, especially when you talk about necessities like generators in that case, or you talk about food, water during really any kind of
Flint,
crisis.
you talking about Flint problem?
Hey,
Well,
G,
that too, but I mean, even if there's a water shortage.
True.
G, remember how last episode you were saying you were waiting for Bryce to do a white teach?
Oh, you talking about the price gouge? Oh, damn, we missed it. Hey, listen. Okay, next time we get in this situation, Bryce, next time when you say something,
I need to start with white
you got to
teach,
be like,
man.
white teach. Just like I was like, black teach, you got to say white teach.
Just have Josh edit a soundbite in there of us just going, white teach. That was at the same time too, shit.
I was like,
just use them for it.
I was like,
Yeah.
the fuck is price gouging? Is that inflation?
Dude, I had like an idea what it was. I just didn't want to say anything.
Was that what you were thinking? Or were you thinking something
Yeah, I
else?
was thinking that. I just
Damn it! Sorry, I just thought of it. It was the hurricanes. That's why.
But you know who price?
did it.
You know who price gouged
on the water? Yeah.
You know who price gouged like a motherfucker though?
Huh.
George Bush did during Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, yeah.
Gas was $5, bro.
yeah, it was.
Dude,
Yeah.
Sarah
that
has a
is kind of
picture.
weird that shit hasn't came back since George Bush left office.
But
Because
you know,
nigga, we don't need to pay $5 a gallon for gas.
But you know that was the fittest year America was in. Because niggas
Actually.
was buying bicycles.
yeah, they was.
Well, I mean, 2008 was the big crash. Well, not the big crash, but I mean, it
No,
was
you know what?
the biggest crash we've had in decades. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
one
2008
thing
was bad.
I will admit, I did hear, and I think it is correct.
8 was a great year for me.
Part of the reason the
That's
prices went down is there were a lot more companies, industries overseas, oil companies.
Josh, you was working at a debt collector in
competing.
2008.
So I think that one actually did.
No, it wasn't.
when you at GC services,
As much as I'd love to blame Bush
That was
for that,
Yeah, see,
I'd love to blame Bush for that,
09,
but I think that was legitimately the oil company.
he
You
was
know,
working
you know
at
what's funny,
Express.
man? Me and my brother was having a conversation earlier about President Trump. I'll give him he won it, so I'm not going
No, it was
to hate on him.
10 to 12.
Okay.
President Trump and how people are
was there
always
for a
throwing
while.
it back to Obama. And it's like, how come every time Trump does something, Obama has to be brought up? And I feel like it's the same way, like, I feel like people hate on presidents, and I'm not saying presidents don't do some shitty shit. I don't have all the stats here to really like, come
I mean,
back.
it's definitely the worst job.
Yeah, but and that's what I'm saying. And here's my whole thing about being the president, man. And that's why I always try to give the president a little slack. First of all, you don't make all the decisions by yourself, contrary to
Facts.
belief.
No
You-
one man
Yeah,
can
you
run
don't,
an
dude.
entire country by
How-
himself.
How many people are in the house?
It's hard enough running a convenience store.
It is, and so you got all these people. You got first. You got to pass. You got to come with this idea. Hey, dude, we're gonna fucking make everybody wear sandals on Thursday, right? And then everybody, you gotta go to the house, and the house is like, nah, we're not fucking doing that. And I'm like, we're, and then you gotta come back. Then you can go, okay, fuck you. I said we're doing sandals on Thursday. Then they can just veto that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when people say this, like you can't just look at one figurehead and blame him for it. You really need to look at like everybody that was involved in that whole process.
But see, my thing is, if I'm the president and I'm supposed to be the chief executive, the boss, the one that, you know what I'm saying, that makes all of the decisions, who the fuck are you to tell me no?
But
that's why I don't believe in the president.
Yeah,
I
but-
believe that
That's because there's
like-
checks and balances.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
okay, but listen, cool. That's cool. But at the same time, you know how when you was in class and the teacher said, it's going to be 4 of y'all. And it's going to be the writer. It's going to be the writer. It's going to be this person, and then there's the presenter.
Yep.
The president, to me, is just a presenter.
Yeah, I feel like that
What
too.
the fuck else does he do?
I mean, that's what I be trying to say.
Basically, just the face.
Yeah.
the president don't really run shit.
The president's the
Goddamn
scapegoat.
thing.
Yeah, he's a
He's the
scapegoat.
scapegoat. And
He's the front man.
I had to say this. I didn't mean to say the House can veto the bill. I know that's the president. I'm not stupid for anyone that caught that. I just
Well, they
fucked around
can
and said
still.
it. I know they can still
Vote.
yeah, they can still vote, but they can't. The president's the ones that vetoing. But no, I fucking totally forgot what I said. Go ahead, Bryce. To you. I totally forgot what I was saying. Yeah, no, my bad. Yeah, the president really is the front man. He's the Mick Jagger of the group.
That's it.
Like so, when you don't like their song, then fucking you're gonna blame Mick Jagger.
Blame the president.
You know what I'm saying?
He
And
just
that's-
puts
at
a
the same
face. He
time-
just puts a face on the government. That's
But
it.
at the very least, he still has influence.
He does. I will say that.
Because how many people has Trump, and this isn't even disputable for anybody who wants to try and dispute this, how many times has he threatened to not support a Republican candidate in their reelection who won't support him?
I see, and that's the messed up thing. See, I would say Trump as a president. The one thing I get that I don't look about Trump.
The one thing?
No, seriously. There's some things, but here's my main point. Trump is too loud. I feel like the president shouldn't be that goddamn loud.
But see, right? Let me kind of take what y'all saying a step further and try to put a different kind of face on it, right? Because if you look at the presidents, in my opinion, they're pretty much just an example, of who runs the show.
Right.
When George Bush was in office, you can tell that there was a Republican stronghold.
Right.
So who did they put forth? The Republican.
Yeah.
Oh, Barack Obama. Whatever was going on in the government at the time, he was what became of that.
Right.
So now more than ever, big business runs the fucking world.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
what has Trump always been about since we knew about Trump?
Money, 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 money.
Big business. So that's all that is. Trump is basically the old white man, the old white man with old values, racist as hell, all about a dollar, and they knew that.
Yep.
And they put him as their front man.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why a lot of people said they voted for him is because he's a great businessman. And for the audio, I put that in air quotes.
Yeah.
But one thing with that is I don't doubt, I will say this, I guess to his credit, I don't doubt that he legitimately does make many decisions off of what he think is an economically good decision. That's why he's pulled us out of all these overseas agreements, because he says, you know, we're giving all this money to, you know, the UN and shit, and what are we getting in return? But the problem is, I feel like he's ignoring the fact that this is a global market. That globalization is real. For us in 2018 to say, fuck every other country, let's just do our own, isn't realistic. And once again, bring that back to the internet. Internet connects us to another country like that.
Yeah.
I hate to defend Trump, but I kind of agree with him with what he's doing on that, because basically what Trump says, what I think he's saying is like, we're basically getting ass fucked by these other countries. You know what I'm saying? And we're America. We're supposed to be the ones doing the fucking. You know what I'm saying? So he wants to take the power.
With President Trump.
I do agree with some things that Trump says.
Right.
Mr. Fuck Trump.
Dude. I can't believe we're actually talking about him right now on the podcast. It's stupid.
Well, no, we're talking
It was
about
gonna
him
come up eventually.
We're talking to him in regards to
But
economics.
like I said, I agree with some of the things that he does. I don't agree with his rhetoric and the way that he treats people and things that he says.
Right.
But he does, to me at least, make some good sound decisions based on America. Because in that case, he's absolutely right. We once were the great superpower of the world.
Right.
And now we're really not.
Like number
so
7.
he's trying to give us the power back.
In my opinion,
you know what I'm saying? And
honestly, I'm sorry.
business-wise, that's how he do it.
I'm sorry, but in my opinion, I don't give presidents I don't give presidents credit for anything. I'm sorry, because there's so many suits. There's so many suits sitting at so many desks making so many decisions that really this one man, you're gonna put all of these decisions and all of these thoughts in his hands or trust him. No, I don't believe that. No, I believe all these cabinets, all these state governments, the Congress, all of that, they make the fucking decisions. And now it's big business. It's money. Whoever has the most money does the talking. Yeah. So I'm not gonna say Trump is making these decisions. No, fuck that. That's why I can't have these conversations.
He's not the only one making these decisions.
He ain't making none of them.
But I mean,
he just talking.
You can clearly look at his resume, and tell that regardless of anything, he is, a quote unquote good businessman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's fucking very wealthy off of the decision that he has made or his team has made or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, when it comes to, I can say this one thing, that Trump would probably go down in history as maybe the best business president, if that makes any sense.
I disagree with that.
I don't know. And maybe I'm talking on my ass because I don't follow politics. I don't fuck with Trump. I don't fuck with anybody. But, Trump does...
Josh don't fuck with himself.
Yeah. Anyways. But, man, that just fucked me up.
This is what I would say about President
you don't fuck
Trump,
with anybody.
About president, this is the problem I always have with every president. I would agree that Trump is a very good businessman. Has always been. I mean, my brother was talking about earlier. He flipped. Like a lot of people be like, when he said that statement, I started with a modest $2 million, and a lot of people like, fuck, that's $2 million. But you gotta think about it. You gotta think about it.
He started with a small loan from his father of $1 million.
Yeah, but think about like, $1 million in the big business world is not a lot.
Yeah, ain't shit.
So it's not, so it's kind of commendable if you think about it that way.
But you know what's funny? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
But here's the problem I've always had with every president, right? there has never been a middle ground president. And what I mean by that, like the closest we got was Obama. And I think that's why a lot of people, especially like poverty-stricken areas, gravitated to him so much is because we
I think
felt
that's
like
arguable right there.
no, but what I'm saying is I feel like he was like the closest thing we could get to someone who understands us in the low end.
I think
you know what I mean?
at the same time, we're only saying that because we grew up with Obama. I think we can probably
No.
people who people who are older than us, like would probably argue Clinton, as that, or I don't know, but I'm just saying. You saying Obama? I feel like we can only say that because that's all we know.
No,
Two reasons that I agree with him though, because I remember when he got elected, because I got into politics actually with 2004 election, John Kerry versus George Bush re-election. But with Obama, even when he was trying to get elected the first time, two things that people said about him. They said he was too young to be president, which is funny because he was the minimum age, obviously.
Yeah, he was 35.
And the other thing that they said is they criticized him because he'd have these fundraisers with Hollywood actors. And I think, at least from a social standpoint, that paints a picture that he's more like us.
Right.
And I think that's where Jared kind of got that assumption. I don't know if that was the original reason, but it's that general portrayal of Obama that's made people think that, oh, he's more like us than our previous president.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the basketball court behind the White House, and he'd go play basketball and smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, he had the dog and everything. I mean,
Man,
and
I'll say Clinton was more like us just because of the fact that he got head in the White House and he played.
Oh my God! No, he's more like you sexual fucking pervert. Like, no,
How am I a sexual fucking pervert?
look, man, look. A lot of people give credit to
Exactly.
Bill Clinton, but name me 5 things that he did.
I don't know.
See, and that's what I'm saying.
I was young. We were all
but
too
that's
young.
What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people will give people credit, and this is why I don't get into conversations about presidents because I don't follow them enough. I really just started following towards Obama's second term. That's when and I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't go out and vote for Obama because I always feel like there's somebody in the background pulling strings anyway. So who gives a fuck now? But at the same time, since I really don't go out and vote like that, I don't say shit because I feel like I lost the right to say any fucking
I feel
thing.
you. I've always had a
sure.
problem with wrapping my head around one person being in charge of this many of an entire country.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
I've always had a problem with wrapping my head around that. I've never been able to understand. I was like, you got to be out your mind. It's fucking possible.
And that's the thing. But here's the thing with that. So when I go back to talking about being able to relate to a president, why I say Obama's the closest because one, he was black for the most part. I know he was half black, but black for the most part. And a lot of times in this economy, in this economy, no, I would say in this government, this country, that's what I'm looking for. This country, a lot of times black is attributed to being like more poverty. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it, but it's fucking true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
So up to that point, every president has been white. Every president has come from at least a decent, wealthy, family. At least to the point that we can, like, maybe before like the 1900s, it was different. But at that point, it was always like someone who had a decent amount of money.
Right.
And I feel like people brought in Trump because it was easier for them to relate as the big business people who hide because they felt like, okay, one, we don't relate to Obama, so you got all these like rednecks people like getting mad they want something changed, and then you have all these big business people saying we want the money. You know what I mean?
All right, so I just want to expound upon Obama, because at the same time I agree with you, but the funny thing is the way that I feel about Obama is the purpose that I feel like the government set for Obama kind of backfired. Right. Because I feel like they put Obama in government. I mean in the White House just to try to paint a picture of racism being erased. Yeah. Of there being no more racism. And I feel like all that did was the opposite. Yep. I feel like that just brought the fucking racists out the sewer. Full circle. It brought them out and they put Trump in office.
I kind of agree with that.
I do agree with that.
Yeah, I
facts.
Agree with
that. But
facts.
With one thing that I feel is very true, I think that people are more prone to vote when they want change. Yeah. Because when Obama became president, we also had a Democratic controlled Congress. For his re-election, People obviously hated Obama because by that time Obamacare had been passed because we had a Democratic Congress, so there was not enough opposition from a legal standpoint for it to have been overturned. But by the time 2012 came around, everybody was up in arms about that, and so we still kept Obama. But then Congress turned over to Republicans.
Yeah, the Tea Party rose like the Bloods on the West.
2016, people were really pissed at Obama, and plus Trump, had all his free publicity, and I mean he was the voice of the alt-right.
Yeah.
And once again, people wanted change. So what happened? The people who wanted change got out and voted, and the people who were content didn't go out and vote. Hence, we had 3 million more votes for Hillary Clinton, but the Electoral College turned over to Trump.
You know what that really was, though? And I've asked multiple people this question, and Bryce, you know a lot about politics, so maybe you can answer this question, which nobody else ever has. When has there ever been a back-to-back Republican or Democrat president?
Oh, I looked this up. It's been a long time. Reagan and Bush Sr. In Bush Sr., we did not reelect. So, in other words, and think about who Reagan was. Everybody loved Reagan. So Reagan was a Republican 2 terms. So my obviously I wasn't alive then. So my hypothesis, that was the year I was born actually. My hypothesis is that people were like, man, Reagan's been awesome. Let's reelect another Republican. And they did, and didn't go the way they wanted it to. It got us into the first Desert Storm. And then Bill Clinton came along and said, you know what? Bush couldn't live up to Reagan. Bush Sr. could not live up to Reagan. Voted in Bill Clinton.
And then they started the 3 strikes law.
Okay, well, to what I was gonna say, because I guess Bryce just completely proved me wrong in a way.
Before you even got it out.
Yeah, he did. Because no one's ever answered that question, and that's why I said towards you. So thank you. But what I was gonna say is that everything is the whole voting presidential shit is all rigged because normally whenever the election comes up, it's always Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat.
It's usually
normally it is, and it's rigged to be that way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Bush just probably fucked it up so bad for those 4 years. They're like, okay, we're not gonna fuck with you anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, I mean, first Desert Storm, and plus he couldn't live up to Reagan because everybody loved Reagan. Even Democrats loved Reagan.
Yeah.
And
Reagan
so
was great.
it's not a surprise to me that Bush Sr. got voted in, but he had big shoes to fill.
I mean, that's gonna be the same thing that happens with Trump. I think.
You think he's gonna be voted out?
Oh yeah. I don't think Trump's they're not gonna let Trump go another 4 years.
I think so too.
Has anybody ever been impeached?
Nixon?
Well, no. Keep in mind, impeach only means that impeach doesn't mean that you were actually taken out of office. It means that they started the process to take you out of office. Nixon, Clinton was impeached. Now they did not successfully get him out of office.
Right.
But he was impeached, and I think there was a third president who was impeached.
No, there's only one. He's the only one.
No, there was more than one.
Really?
Like I said, impeach just means that they were started that process of taking him out. So Nixon and Clinton were both impeached.
Look, I don't know shit about.
I think Nixon actually resigned before they could finish the
I
process.
don't know shit about politics from within
I
the
thought
system.
impeach was actually being taken out of office.
That's what I always thought.
That's what people. That's a common misconception.
I'm pretty sure that's what I was taught in history class.
I'm wrong, but
in Eastern.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I see politics a lot differently than everybody else, so I kind of just shy away from the conversation just because.
The shit just boring to me.
Huh?
It's just boring to me.
I mean, it's boring in a sense, but to me, it's a lot deeper than what we're given or what we're supposed to understand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I try to read things outside of the box just because I feel like there's a lot more to it. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like our government is all about profit. I feel like I don't believe that the president runs everything.
He doesn't.
I believe that popularity. I believe that a presidential campaign is a popularity contest. And it's a numbers game. And I believe that the true people that really run this country are the 1%. Period.
Yeah, I believe
Facts.
so.
So
The
no, I will
reptilian
not.
race.
I will not argue with anybody about a president. I will argue with nobody about Trump. I won't argue with nobody about Obama. If you want to argue with me about Congress or the people that's really pushing buttons, the Walmart and Google
Walmart.
and Citgo,
You didn't know Walmart and Google was Illuminati?
people making the real money.
It probably is.
So edit just in case.
Go ahead.
I was a little wrong.
Wait, say white teach.
Only white teach. Only two presidents have been impeached: Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton. Nixon resigned before he could be impeached.
Yeah, he got out there. He was like, hell no.
He knew.
That's
He
like
knew
when
the
you-
jig was up.
That's like when your boy tell you your girl on the way and then you with somebody else.
Hold up.
Jump out the window.
Hey, girl, I gotta roll.
So, I guess this is gonna be too much of another conversation, but so being impeached is basically just to have allegations brought upon you.
More or less, I wouldn't put it that way, but what you're getting at is correct.
Because I thought,
Scared to hell.
and you proved me wrong, of course, but I thought
That wasn't my goal, but okay.
But we all grew up to think that impeach was
That's
basically
true.
a president being taken out of office
Yeah.
because of a scandal
Listen,
or whatever.
That's what
I
people
know
think.
in
And Clinton was
I know
not
in
that,
history
you know?
class. I know in history class when I got that question on a test, it said, "What the fuck does impeach mean?" It means to vote a president the fuck up out of there, and I got it right.
Yeah.
Just like just let him have it.
Yeah,
He missed
you
all
know,
the rest of
Clinton,
it.
Clinton wasn't taken out of office for what he had did. I don't know. Andrew said Andrew Johnson.
Yeah, that one. Jackson, Andrew.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
kind of surprised by that.
That's a long, super long
I'll
time
have to
ago.
look. I'll have to look that up on my own time, because he was one of the first 10 presidents, I think.
Andrew Jackson, yeah, I think so.
He's on $10 bill.
So, Bryce,
Something like that.
let me ask you a question.
right? Yep.
Out of everybody in here, who would make the worst president?
You're trying to stir up trouble now.
I mean, you can say me. If it's
We got to
all
put one of each other on blast.
Yeah, I don't think it's me, but who is it?
Can I say who would be the best so I don't have to hurt
No.
somebody's feelings? You go first then.
Josh. Josh, you're the worst president out of all of us.
Think so?
Because you'll get caught in the sex scandal in the first 6 months. Grabbing everybody
okay,
by the pussy.
I completely
Okay.
disagree with that.
It's a tie. It's a tie for two reasons. One, Josh, because you would want shit done your way. Period.
That's
You would want shit done your way.
That's what the president does. They want it done their way.
And you would throw a hissy fit.
That's
Maybe
facts.
not a hissy fit.
That's fact.
And
And
then G-
the first bill he got vetoed.
So
Ooh.
So let me give my tiebreaker, and then we'll let you guys go, and then we can wrap it up.
I'm fucked.
I would say Gio.
I knew it.
But you're gonna laugh. Why? You're gonna laugh. Why? Because he's gonna let out all the fucking secrets. He's gonna tell everybody about Area 51.
Everything.
He's gonna tell
I'm
everybody
telling
about JFK. Nothing will be a secret if
Nothing.
Gio is president.
I'm telling everything.
But I think any president gets pissed off when shit's doesn't go their way, or when we have something vetoed. You know what I'm saying? It's just that they don't broadcast that shit.
Don't worry, you'd still be better than Trump.
I'll be on IG Live. Like, look, man, I saw some shit.
Okay. So Josh, who would be the worst president?
Hold on. Before you say it, I want to say this. Gio wouldn't even make it to the goddamn building.
No.
It'd be a higher power situation. Be a dude in a tower with a scope, with a rifle. And the president's first going to make his first... I guess the president's dead. We're going to vote in device.
you
I
know
be
what?
Area 51 with my phone.
I'll probably say myself, just because I wouldn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I would.
He'd be like, how the hell did I
my
get this?
tongue on the mic will be worse than Trump. I will tell a reporter, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out, you stupid bitch.
Nah,
like,
See, that's how I should have
like
described
real.
it. That's how I should have described it.
I'll be in the White
You
House
know-
smoking weed, drinking lean.
All right.
I,
All right,
I
Gio.
won't
who-
filter myself because I'm the fucking president. Like, I'll be real as fuck.
All right, Gio. Who would be the worst president?
Jared.
Ouch.
I thought you just said it just because.
Just because I feel like Jared would never be on time for the presidential State of the Union, because he would take 6 hours getting ready.
Fucking cameras up there for 6 hours. Where's the president?
I feel like Jared is too sexually experimental. So
He'll be caught in the broom closet with another man.
he'll be caught in the craziest sex scandal.
He's gonna have a first lady and a first
yeah,
man.
definitely.
Hey, gotta get both out.
Whoa.
What else?
Facts.
Go ahead.
So
No, I'm done. That's it. The first time you 6 hours late to the presidential State of the Union, it's just a room there. This nigga Jared walk in, fixing his clothes, looking at his nails. Oh, y'all here? Okay. They done gave a speech to somebody else.
So who's
You're gonna do
your
it.
turn, Jared?
who's? Oh, I already went first. I said Josh, but I told you I said Josh because you're gonna get caught in the sex scandal.
Oh, Josh, who did you say?
I said me.
Oh, you
I said
said-
myself.
yeah, we all went.
You were gonna say Bryce?
No,
goddamn it.
real
I
shit,
think-
'cause I'll
I think-
be too real.
I think Bryce would be a good president
Thank you.
We'd
because
make
he's
the
white.
best. No, I think
Because I know presidential history.
Period. Yeah.
I think Bryce would not be the best president.
Why?
He
Really?
wouldn't be the worst. Just
Of
not
course,
the
you're gonna
best.
say yourself.
Yeah. No, I'm not that conceited. I'm not you.
I say I'm the worst. I say I'll be the best.
No president is into astrology. And this nigga got planets on his
Astronomy,
legs.
bitch.
Astrology.
That's not, that's not true.
Astronomy?
Astrology
you don't even know
is
enough
like
about presidents to make
Virgo,
that accusation.
Fuck, it's got something to do with the planets. It's not there.
No, it's got to do with the stars. It ain't got nothing to do with planets.
The stars align. They chill around the planets, right?
White teach.
Do they not? Do stars not hang around the planets?
Hey, White teach this nigga Bryce.
Okay,
before we
around
finish.
stars, just so you know.
Yo, school this
Not the other way
motherfucker,
around.
Bryce.
Either way.
White teach.
School him.
But
Take him to Schoolhouse
You're
Rock.
the most ignorant one out of all of us, Josh.
White
Shut
teach.
the hell up.
Hey, I did not deny it.
we're,
plead
we're,
the
we're
fifth.
gonna have to do an
I
episode
admit
about
that
astronomy.
shit.
We're gonna have to do an episode about space. That's what, actually we really will because Josh and I have had some interesting conversations about that in the past.
Yeah, we have.
I don't know
But,
shit about space.
But yo, so I just want to say because I think we need to wrap this up. I just want to say as part of my shout out.
Okay.
It's not a shout out. This ain't a shout out. This is selfish.
Do you think?
Bryce Lansing, formerly of Without Circumstance, probably still going to release some music under the Without Circumstance banner with the help of JB Easy over here. So just want to give a heads up to everybody on that. And thank you, Josh, in advance for the help he's been doing for me recording some music.
My man, no problem.
That's cute.
Hey, JB Easy or Josh B, whatever the fuck you want to call me, all right? But anyways, hit me up. Anybody that want to do music, trying to look for people, hit me up. Brown Bear 517, L-Town Legend at Yahoo, Brown Bear 517 at Gmail, or hit me up on Facebook, Josh B Easy, just a podcast. Hit me up.
Okay.
Trying to make some stuff happen.
Geo on everything across every platform except Twitter is Geo_everything just because Geo on everything was too motherfucking long. 10-5 coming soon. Go check out 48910 on SoundCloud.com/Geo on everything. Let me on through my shit, nigga.
Look, I'm just gonna say the same thing I said all the time. Look, man, I'm gonna put my shit in the description. You check it out if you want to. And that's it. You hit. Just hit us up on Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube. We're gonna go out and get some more shit. Just right now, that's where we're starting. If you want to talk to anybody individually, just add our names or just talk shit. We'll talk shit back to you. It don't matter.
Email your question to takeoff.anytimepc@gmail.com.
Yeah, but
right.
I will say we gotta
So,
go because
in
Bryce
cl-
is trying to get some booty.
Trying to get some of that pussy. He got
smash.
He finna go relax the pussy.
Raw.
That pussy.
All right. So, in closing, once again, this is the end of another episode. We appreciate and thanks everybody for fucking with us. And if you don't fuck with us, oh well, we're still gonna take off.
Don't it sound
Peace.
so nice?
Good night. Be easy. We out.